G'day, and welcome to Today is the Present. I'm Kiwi. We are on day 5 of reading scriptures together. We are reading today Genesis chapters 16 through and including chapter 18, and tomorrow for day 6, Genesis chapters 19 through and including chapter 21. Let's get started. Chapter 16. Now, Sarai, Avram's wife, had not borne him children, but she had an Egyptian slave girl. Her name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Avram, "Look now, Adonai has prevented me from having children. Go please to my slave girl. Perhaps I'll get a son by her." Avram listened to Sarah's voice. So Sarai, Avram's wife, took her slave girl Hagar the Egyptian, after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to Avram, her husband, to be his wife. Then he went to Hagar, and she became pregnant. When she saw that she was pregnant, in her eyes her mistress was belittled. So Sarai said to Avram, "What wrong done to me is because of you? I placed my slave girl in your embrace. Now that she saw that she became pregnant, so in her eyes I'm belittled. May Adonai judge between you and me." Avram said to Sarai, "Look, your slave girl is in your hand. Do to her whatever is good in your eyes." So Sarai afflicted her, and she fled from her presence. Then the angel of Adonai found her by the spring of water in the wilderness, next to the spring on the way to Sur. He said, "Hagar, Sarai's slave girl, where have you come from, and where are you going?" She said, "I am fleeing the presence of my mistress Sarai." The angel of Adonai said, "Return to your mistress and humble yourself under her hand." Then the angel of Adonai said to her, "I will bountifully multiply your seed, and they will be too many to count." Then the angel of Adonai said to her, "Behold, you are pregnant and about to bear a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for Adonai has heard your affliction. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And away from all his brothers he will dwell." So she called Adonai, who was speaking to her, "You are the God who sees me." For she said, "Would I have gone here indeed, looking for him who looks after me?" That is why the well is named the well of the living one who sees me. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Then Hagar gave birth to a son for Abram, and Abram named his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Avram was 86 years old when Hagar gave birth to Ishmael for Abram. Chapter 17. When Avram was 99 years old, Adonai appeared to Avram, and he said to him, "I am El Shaddai. Continually walk before me, and you will be blameless. My heart's desire is to make my covenant between me and you, and then I will multiply you exceedingly much. Abram fell on his face, and God spoke with him, saying, For my part, because my covenant is with you, you will be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer will your name be Abram, but your name will be Abraham, because I make you the father of a multitude of nations. Yes, I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you into nations, and kings will come forth from you. Yes, I will establish my covenant between me and your seed after you throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant, in order to be your God and your seed's God after you. I will give to you and to your seed after you the land where you are an outsider, the whole land of Canaan, as an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. God also said to Abraham, As for you, my covenant you must keep, you and your seed after you throughout their generations. This is my covenant that you must keep between me and your seed after you. All your males must be circumcised. You must be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and this will become a sign of the covenant between me and you. Also, your 8-day-olds must be circumcised, every male, throughout your generations, including a houseborn slave or a slave brought with money from any foreigner who is not of your seed. Your houseborn slave and your purchased slave must surely be circumcised. So my covenant will be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. But the uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, that person will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. God also said to Abraham, As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her by the name Sarai. Rather, Sarah is her name, and I will bless her, and overmore, I will give you a son from her. I will bless her, and she will give rise to nations. Kings of the peoples will come from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said to his heart, Will a son be born to a 100-year-old man? Or will Sarah, who is 90 years old, give birth? So Abraham said to God, If only Ishmael might live before you. But God said, On the contrary, Sarah, your wife, will bear you a son, and you must name him Isaac. So I will confirm my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his seed after him. As for Ishmael, I've heard you. See, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and I will multiply him very, very much. He will father 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you at this set time next year. When he finished speaking with him, God went up from Abraham. Then Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all of his houseborn slaves, and all his purchased slaves, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskin on this very same day, just as God had spoken with him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, and his son Ishmael was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. On this very same day, Abraham and Ishmael, his son, were circumcised. Also, all the men of his house, house-born slaves, and slaves purchased from a foreigner, were circumcised with him. Chapter 18. Then Adonai appeared to him at Mamre's large trees while he was sitting in the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day. When he lifted up his eyes to see, suddenly 3 men were standing right by him. When he saw them, he ran from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed down to the ground. Then he said, "My Lord, if now I have found favor in your eyes, please do not pass by your servant. Please let a little water be brought so you can wash your feet and make yourselves comfortable under the tree. And let me bring a bit of bread so that you can freshen yourselves. Then you can pass on, since you have passed by your servant." They said, "Do just as you have said." So Abraham hurried to the tent to Sarah and said, "Quick, knead 3 measures of fine flour and prepare bread loaves." Then to the herd Abraham ran and took a young ox, tender and good, and he gave it to the servant who prepared it quickly. Then he took butter and milk and the young ox that he had prepared and set it before them. While he was standing by them under the tree, they ate. Then they said to him, "Where is Sarah, your wife?" "There, in the tent," he said. Then he said, "I will most surely return to you in about a year's time. Surprisingly, Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years. Sarah had stopped having the way of woman. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I've grown decrepit, can I have desire, and my Lord so old?" Then Adonai said to Abraham, "Why is it that Sarah laughed, saying, 'Can I really give birth when I'm so old?' Is anything too difficult for Adonai? At the appointed time, I will return to you in about a year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah denied it, saying, "I didn't laugh," for she was afraid. But he said, "No, for you did laugh." Then the men got up from there and looked down over Sodom. Abraham was walking with them to send them off. When Adonai said, "Should I keep secret from Abraham what I'm about to do, seeing that Abraham will most certainly become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth be blessed? For I have made myself known to him so that he will command his sons and his household after him to keep the way of Adonai by doing righteousness and justice, so that Adonai may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him." Then Adonai said, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great indeed, and their sin is very grievous indeed. I want to go down now and see if they deserve destruction, as its outcry has come to me. And if not, I will know." Then the men turned from there and went toward Sodom. But Abraham was still standing before Adonai. Abraham drew near and said, "Will you really sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you really sweep away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to cause the righteous to die with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked share the same fate. Far be it from you. Shall the judge of the whole world not exercise justice?" Then Adonai said, "If I find in Sodom 50 righteous people within the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake." Then Abraham answered and said, "Look, pray, I have decided to speak to my Lord, though I am dust and ashes. Suppose the 50 righteous people were lacking 5. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And he said, "I will not destroy it if I find 45 there." So he spoke to him yet again and said, "Perhaps 40 will be found there." And he said, "I will not do it for the sake of 40. Then he said, "Please let my Lord not be angry, so I may speak. Perhaps 30 will be found there." And he said, "I will not do it if I find 30 there." Then he said, "Look, pray, I decided to speak to my Lord. Perhaps 20 be found there." And he said, "I will not destroy it for the sake of 20. Then he said, "Please let not my Lord be angry, so I may speak once more. Perhaps 10 be found there." And he said, "I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. Now, when he had finished speaking to Abraham, Adonai left, and Abraham returned to his place. Thanks for joining me, and may God bless the reading of his word today. So, day number 6, we are going to read Genesis chapters 19 through 21. Blessings on your day. Don't forget, stay prayed up, armored up, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I love you all, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Bye-bye for now.